Thank you.
You guys don't like it.
Oh, appreciate that.
Didn't you live in Florida for a while too? Oh, just. I wouldn't want to live in two different places. Sure.
Kathy, are you all set? Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
That's right.
All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order, Monday, October 6th, 2025. A roll call, please. Excuse me, call the meeting to order.
Councilwoman Herman,
Here.
Councilman Kramer, Councilman Lonaville,
Here.
Councilwoman Tabor, Supervisor Johnson.
Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This is the first budget workshop, so we're here tonight solely discussing the tentative budget, which was submitted. Requested copies from the town clerk are available. That is all we have on the agenda tonight, so yay. So, usually we save the front page with the totals, the fund balances and revenues to the end. Once we go through line items, figure out where we stand finally. So to dive right in page 1, our first section is the town board and personal services. We have 4 councilmen and social media / websites that I've opened up for discussion.
Okay, so that was for a 3% increase?
The councilman, yes.
Yes, so that's 22,075. I agree with that.
The social media website, I think, should, looks like the department had requested 3,500. I'm thinking we should keep it at 3,500.
I agree with that.
Just to recall, we'll need a motion in a second and a long roll to amend the line item.
I motion to amend the line item. Do I have to go through the whole thing, or do you have? 101.01.002, social media website, from 3,000 to 3,500.
Second.
You get the long roll on these.
Yes, please.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Lonaville,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
No. I'm gonna go through some of these.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay.
thank you, appreciate that.
Moving on to contractual expenses. Advertising, miscellaneous, postage, association of town dues, seminars, and website / email. Took down the advertising to $200. It showed historically that we really don't use all of $450, not even close. Any questions on that, or anything up and coming that you think that we would need a larger budget for advertising?
I'm good with it.
Okay.
Good.
Miscellaneous, I left that blank.
Good.
Postage, slight increase, like always. You'll see throughout the budget, there's larger increases in some other areas where we use postage more. But I always increase the postage because they always increase the price of the stamp.
Good.
Association of Town Dues, that's the number that's based off revenues. Seminars, as you see, is something I've been talking about for a while. you know, putting a little extra money in there for any additional trainings that the board may wanna take advantage of in 2026 that may not be free, even though there is a lot of resources available free to us through the Office of State Comptroller and the Association of Towns. This money counts for maybe some other larger, maybe 2-day online courses or local conferences that anyone might be interested in attending.
Sounds good.
Okay,
And then the website/email, increase that substantially just due to, at some point, we are gonna need, that's the $70 per month plus whatever the cost is gonna be when we have to go to .gov emails as well.
yeah, we're currently up to 2391 spent, so.
Sounds good.
Moving on to the Justice Departments, as you can see, everything matches up. I did not alter anything that that Justice Bender submitted from his budget.
Deputy court clerk was my question.
So, again, those were from the Justice, they submitted their paper, it doesn't look like they gave it the 3%. We can talk about that.
No, if that.
But are we looking to hire another court clerk? Cause we don't have a deputy court clerk right now.
Yeah, was it supposed to be blank? I'm wondering.
No,
Scratch that?
I'm sorry.
Is that supposed to be blank, Kathy?
no, Paul told me that he would like to have a backup for Barb, and that's what that deputy court clerk is, in case.
Oh, he never said anything to me, but I don't approve of having a backup. I mean, a backup as in like,
Like if Barb's sick or something.
Yeah,
can't go to court.
I get that, but $6,000, is that just to pay for her training? I mean, can't we just like, kind of like per diem?
And that's 115 hours.
Right.
Have we ever had to use one? Have we ever had to use one?
Well, I think the biggest obstacle we have in the court system was interpreter,
Right.
financially at least recent, that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I just questioned it because it was something we hadn't seen before,
Right.
and I don't know if, you know, I understand if we would be in a bind if something happened to Barb, like this past year, there was a concern,
What do you do in the past?
I don't,
And
what
who's-
did we,
And so as a deputy court clerk, though, you know, she's gonna have to, regardless of when she covers, she's gonna have to be trained.
right,
And she's gonna have to be, she'll be also held accountable to the same auditing standards and documentation that we currently have. So, to me, it seems just more like adding risk to the pool than if Barb is out. I mean, depending on how people, I mean, she goes on vacation, I think they can manage if she's gone on vacation for a week, I don't know. The justices don't really communicate that well,
I mean,
So at this point, we haven't had an issue.
not that I know of, no.
Well, I say we drop it
Make a motion, we drop line 11101.01, 0.239, deputy court clerk.
second,
You want that removed then?
yeah, remove.
Councilwoman Norman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
then. Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Contractual expenses. So again, we have a miscellaneous postage, supplies, equipment repairs, forms, magistrate reviews, publications, seminars, education, stenographer, phone, mileage, copier. Yeah.
The only question I had was the two numbers between the department head and the budget officer, nothing changed in those lines, but the total wasn't the same on my copy, it said 5730 and 5430, so I wasn't sure if I was missing something.
The 9 and the 6.
That top 300 didn't get added.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be. So then it would be the 5730? Okay. So fix that. 30.
Any other questions on the contractual expenses? Alright, so moving on to the supervisor personal services account. So we have the supervisor, account clerk, budget officer, deputy supervisor, clerk, town hall, and the proposed part-time senior personnel clerk. All the existing positions were given 3%. And then the clerk town hall position, the 0.249, that is Nikki's role currently, and it is higher because I put in the salary that she was receiving from the highway department clerk and put it into her general, not general, but her clerk duties.
So do we necessarily have to do that if that position of highway clerk is being eliminated? Do we need to move those funds into this line?
Yeah, what's she gonna be doing? They weren't doing it down there and not gonna be doing it here, so what's the new jobs that she's gonna be doing, I guess?
Well, I mean, that would be, I guess for the highway, how much was that?
9380.
9381.
That'd be a substantial pay cut. To
Yeah, but if
someone's-
you're not, you have to be doing something to get your pay, so
No, I understand that.
maybe we need to
the
go into
pay cut.
executive session on this one.
That was, I had a little ES
Yeah.
next to it, that maybe we need to discuss this in
I
executive
think we
to
need to discuss this position.
So,
discuss the position.
Just in simple terms, it would just go as, she would be just a general clerk type, as they call it, civil service wise, and then, of course, the code enforcement clerk. So those would be the two lines or responsibilities that it would fall under.
Right.
Currently, I know she told me that she has not been doing any work for the highway department since Tim has been out. So that has been like that for a couple months now.
Okay.
You know, giving her more to do, defining that role, is something that I've been working on. She has been given projects, she has been given additional work. So I wouldn't expect anyone to take a $9,000 pay cut and still maintain employment.
Since it's a, employee position, I think we need to go into executive session to discuss this.
I agree.
To discuss salary or like personnel,
But-
job related?
Yeah, what the position is.
I
because
would
it
say all
sounds
three,
like-
all, both. Job-related duties and
Right.
compensation.
I make a motion, we hold that line item 0.249 till we complete executive session discussions and have some direction.
Second?
Right, and then, the one following that, again, we could also discuss that one, even though no one's in that position, I don't think it qualifies for executive session. This was a position that I proposed, in a board meeting, you know, this is what it would look like, Kathy put the numbers together, based on, it would be $20 an hour. And that's what that looks like for the year. And again, I think this falls into who's doing what. If we're gonna eliminate a clerk's responsibilities or roles and then still maintain the same workload, I think that's a problem. This is a position I advocate for to, take on those HR duties from currently being held kind of like, mostly by our principal account clerk, which I don't think is appropriate or within, kind of the scope of the civil service description. And then, payroll, retirement, time off, PTO, all that good stuff that person would be responsible for. So it's in the budget, I put it in the budget, and then we'll see what happens. If anyone had any thoughts on that?
Discuss that in executive session.
There's nothing, it doesn't qualify.
I don't agree to the position without having the complete job description,
Right.
for that current position. And I have a hard time that we're hiring an HR personnel person, senior personnel person, part-time for that wage. I think it would be very, very hard to find, and without having all the civil service job descriptions to match what we're looking for, to understand what the current wage is, the data and statistics, I rather not put it in the budget this time. I am not saying I'm against it, I'm just saying without having the documentation to understand where we're at, I don't think $20 an hour would be enough to comp, there's what, 13 hours a week, 14 hours a week? I rather put the funding elsewhere at this time.
So just to clarify, this is civil service and it is on the help list, so it qualifies for kind of getting around some of the testing requirements on a temporary basis. The hourly salary is from the civil service description list, that is available on the Wayne County website for you guys to review. Going forward though, again, I just want to reiterate on record that the risk assessment and the lack of cross-training, the lack of separation of duties is a problem. So if we don't take steps to fix it, it's gonna continue to be a problem. And that is why it's in there too. Not saying you have to hire someone January 1st, but funding it for any point in 2026, once you feel comfortable with the description or exactly what they're gonna be doing, it's already in there. I'm 99.9% positive that if you take it out of the budget now, it won't go back in at any given time. So that's the decision.
I make a motion, we strike it from this year's budget until we have all the proper documentation.
Second.
Yeah, I would like to see a list of where the gaps are and really kind of supporting people at the clerk level.
Who's gonna make that list?
I don't know. But I think, we can talk about it. But I think I'm not seeing the HR issues that you do. So,
So I just wanna verify, Mike, you're saying to remove that line item?
Correct, at this time.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Lonzo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
No.
Thank you.
All right, equipment, software maintenance, enhanced fixed assets, that is, for the proposed, fixed asset software, from our account clerk.
I have a note that we discussed throughout the year, the potential of a new PC for the supervisor and the account clerk, where I didn't really see where that was specifically set, so while we're talking about software and,
So that would probably be down,
Assets.
that'd probably be, we could talk about that down in computer supplies.
okay.
This is
So
just
the-
for separate software that was proposed.
Right.
Yeah.
So the department had 25.95, is there justification? That's all we need to know?
So Kathy, correct me if I'm wrong, you've got a quote, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, so that quote was 1,500, right? Or was it more based on users?
Nope, so the fixed assets from the risk assessment, the fixed asset module
Yeah.
cost 1,500, and then the other part of the 25.95 is our yearly, support money that we pay.
Okay. So then technically it should be $25.95 to include the software and the support.
Yeah, so I put that 25.95 in there, and then when I talked to Summer, she said, we'll just leave it at the 1,500, and then, because it's not something that we don't have, we don't have it now, so, and then she said you guys would discuss it.
Yeah, and at that price for a quote, we'd have to put that out to RFP.
Well, it's part of our accounting software.
And there's no other options for that software? Okay.
So do we need it or don't we?
Well,
I
the risk assessment,
I would strongly recommend getting the fixed asset software.
So then we wanna
So
increase
then
that
we'll
up to the
25.95.
Okay.
I make a motion to increase line item .024, the original 25.95.
Second.
Councilwoman Hearn,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Loneville.
Yes,
Councilwoman Faber.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. And then I stand corrected, the website maintenance that's the $75 a month for the new website. Are you good with that?
Yep.
Okay. Contractual expenses, it's a little wonky, but, miscellaneous, again, was left blank. Postage, as you can see, was increased substantially, or not substantially, but it's a substantial cost. Equipment repairs at $100.
let's go back, excuse me.
Yeah.
We spent 41 in miscellaneous, why aren't we putting any money in there?
As budget officer, I don't like putting money in miscellaneous accounts because it's not accounted for. It could be for anything.
Do we know what it was spent on?
No, not at the top of my head.
Okay.
We have to look at the accounting, report.
Just curious, like where it could have gone otherwise.
And then forms is left 0, I believe, if I'm lining these up correctly. Seminars in education, I'm trying to read this and it's all,
Yeah, seminars and education is
you
1,000.
got a clean, you guys is all lined
Yeah,
up,
hard
okay.
to find it.
Alright, miscellaneous 0, postage 450, equipment repairs 100, forms 0, seminars, education 1,000, phone 0, mileage 300, computer supplies, that's the one we can talk about if we want to move forward with desktops and laptops. Dues, office supplies, and cellular phone supervisor slash purchase 0. Okay, thank you, yeah. So, where do you guys wanna start?
Computer supplies, let's see, we've got 0.
It's for 200 currently.
So nothing's been spent this year, so are we gonna spend something, or what's the deal there?
Is that supplies category where we buy new equipment, or is that?
Yeah, computer supplies, like I know, either office supplies or computer supplies are used, like I bought, a new keyboard
Right.
for the desktop, you know, things like that. The computer supplies, that's where I'd like to see if we were to purchase the desktops or laptops, the two of them. I did have a rep reach out to me from Dell. You know, I'm pretty sure we can keep it under the procurement threshold, for state bid or anything like that. You know, nowadays laptops especially are pretty cheap. It's more, what's gonna cost is setting that laptop up with the software. you know, the Word, Office, Microsoft, things like that. You know, the supervisor's office definitely needs a new desktop. You know, like I said, the product key is expired for Microsoft, so we can't access Word or PowerPoint or anything in the suite. It's just old, it's overdue.
So then
So
what
it's
should
two-
we be?
So we should be putting something in there because it's all subscription based now, right? It's not like you buy it for $4.95, you have to buy a subscription.
Well, it depends. So laptops, usually when you buy a laptop, you buy it with Microsoft. You know, it's kind of embedded in there unless you need something specific. Desktops, on the other hand, that might be something different where you buy a desktop, depending on the memory, the RAM, all that good stuff, what you want, which we don't need anything crazy. It's just for basic office tasks. So, I mean, I haven't gotten a quote, but, you know, to the best of my knowledge, I think last year when we talked about this, we were talking about $1,200 for a new desktop and or laptop, or 2 desktops, depending on preference,
So that should move from 200 to 1,200 then.
if that's what the board,
I would recommend that, it's the price of computers, and, I worry about the software with Microsoft, because to your point, sometimes it's free and sometimes it isn't, it's subscription based, and
So-
Sometimes it might be a setup too, depending on the cost, is a laptop with a monitor
Mhm.
that you can attach the two and use the laptop too.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we change 0 to 5 computer supplies to $1,200.
second.
Can I say something?
Sure.
We have 2 family subscriptions to Microsoft 365 that we pay every year, and we can share them with 5 different people on each one.
Oh, awesome.
Thank you.
And it's, I think, $149 a year for the 5.
Oh, that's perfect, thank you.
We also still, correct, have access to the laptop that was purchased last August for live streaming.
we got 2 laptops.
And so I
Okay.
didn't know you didn't have access to Word. I'll share that with you tomorrow. I had no clue.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's all right. The family Microsoft Access, Kathy, is that your personal account or
No, it's-
here?
It's business.
Business?
Yep.
Okay,
It's through the town.
yeah, gotcha.
There's no mine.
Okay, do we need a long roll for
Yep,
that? Okay.
just was making sure everybody's done.
Mhm.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
That's going up to 1,000.
1,200.
1,200.
Dues, office supplies. Cellular phone for supervisor and clerk. I think we should keep the $300 line in the budget.
Is there justification or just,
Does, the clerk do any banking or anything from a security standpoint? I would think that have cellular devices or something that they have to go to the bank, no different than the town clerk. I don't know if Kathy does banking and stuff on behalf of the town. I'd feel more comfortable if she had a cellular device.
And she has one now, right?
not through the town, it's a personal with an allowance, with a $300 allowance.
Okay, because we spent $150, okay.
Yeah, it's paid by anyone.
So
So
make a motion to,
can I just add something about the cell phone? So that conversation came up with, in union talks, of why non-on-call people had a cell phone allowance. The thinking being, if you have a desk in office hours and a phone at your desk, then we shouldn't be providing any kind of allowance for cellular phone usage. That was the conversation that we had.
thank you. I'll make a motion to put in $300 on line 12204-01, 108 cellular phone supervisor / clerk to $300.
Okay?
Do a roll on it. Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
No. Alright, and then, our audit, so, as you can see, we maintain the audit for the court. year-to-year basis. Last year's increase because we did the risk assessment. Any other audit practices that the board would look at that wanna pay for in this upcoming year? Or are we fine with just the 4,000?
How long ago was the judicial system audit?
Do it every year.
Pardon?
They do it every year.
That's what the 4,000
Yeah.
score is for theirs?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
It's not under the judicial line?
No, it's under our audit.
So when was the last,
Financial,
financial?
before my time.
Maybe we should make sure we have enough to do that. I think that would be,
See what the price will be for the add a financial.
yeah. So do we need to say we're tabling that one until, that line until we get further information?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yep. Make a
I-
motion, go ahead. do it.
Oh, I'll make a motion to table 13204-01-190 single audit until we get some further information on what a financial, audit would cost
For the court, right?
for the,
Or for the town?
for the town.
Oh, okay, well, I can tell you right now, it's gonna be around $20,000.
No, it's gonna quote, we'll see.
Okay. Okay. All right.
A motion on the table, I need a second.
Second, I'm sorry, my apologies.
And then the tax collection, town clerk, deputy town clerk, in and out, that they pay to the school. Tax collection equipment software pilot program. So this is from June, it says $2,000 in the software pilot program, but only $200 has been expended out of there.
So that's for the town and county taxes, so that bill will come in the next month or so?
So for the town and county.
That $2,000 is town and county software, so that will come in, October, November, because we get that downloaded in December, so it's a late in the year expense.
And then contractual expenses, again, we have advertising, miscellaneous, postage and envelopes, mileage, dues, and office supplies on the next page.
What were the dues for?
So there's a New York State tax collection, I'm gonna say it wrong, New York State tax collection thing that I belong to, that's a dues, that's
Okay.
I don't wanna say that, why am I not saying that right, Kathy?
It's like an association
Yes,
that you
thank
belong
you.
to. Okay,
Thank you.
awesome, thanks. That's all I wanted.
But then you've gotta do it yet, cause it hasn't been spent, right?
Right, again, because county taxes start
Okay.
late, it's the end of year thing.
Awesome.
Any questions on any of the contractual expenses for tax collection for school? That was the
The old school is only
Yeah.
that one, those two lines, the rest of it's town and county.
Looks good. Moving on to assessor, personal services. So we have the part-time clerk, 3% there, the longevity, and then the assessor, at $17 per parcel. And what that looks like, that was the recommendation, from our assessor.
Right,
Perfect.
and that's mainly, for the reval, that's gonna be a big item next year. And again, Mike's doing a great job getting prepared for that.
And then the assessment board, 5 members at $100 each, and the clerk, that's the cost. And then equipment, computer, printer, calculator, nothing was funded for this year or next year coming up. There are contractual expenses. As you can see, some of the numbers may be different than in the 2025 budget because he reported that a lot of the supplies, stationery, envelopes was already pre-purchased.
Okay,
Ahead of
that
time.
was my question, was the postage for the reval. based on how many parcels and sending out like
Yeah.
one letter per parcel was like a $1,677
Yeah, no,
expense.
Yeah, they said they were well stocked and
Okay,
ready to go.
beautiful,
Yeah, Dawn started that
Thank you.
ahead, because remember, she was gonna start all that.
right,
She had that all going when Mike got there, so we're in good shape.
okay, awesome, thanks for answering that.
I'm good with that, I can,
Yep,
Alright, moving on to town clerk personnel services. So it looks a little different, per seeing what it looks like on paper. Our town clerk wanted to see what it looked like, instead of 2 deputy clerks, that we have 1 full-time deputy clerk. So that is what that looks like.
good. Just a note that full-time deputy clerk needs to be a Marion resident. Just to throw that out there so everybody's aware.
it does or does not?
It does. They do need to be a Marion resident to be a deputy clerk,
Full-time.
full-time.
The first deputy always has to be, the second deputy does not, but the first deputy does, so without having a second, the full-time deputy would need to be a Marion resident.
I would like to maybe propose putting some money in the line for the deputy clerk number 2, based on a per diem situation. We have, currently, we have someone who would be able to fill that deputy clerk 2 position, on a per diem basis for like training, and if, there were vacations and things that coincided. So I was thinking like $5,000 to be able to have that kind of per diem person if there's an issue. I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
How's the town clerk feel?
It would be nice to have somebody as a backup. I'm not sure how many hours, you could probably go less than 5,000, you could probably don't need quite that much, but,
Maybe 3?
yeah, you could do 3.
Well, I mean,
Just as a, so,
backup to the backup.
backup to the deputy.
To the deputy. So would there ever be a situation where, I mean, we could stagger the office where you're not allowed to both take vacations at the same time, or?
Yeah, absolutely,
You know,
but, oh,
yes.
absolutely. But at the same time, kind of like, if there's training, if the person goes out sick, if the person
That's
has
not a family.
family, medical issues, family.
So do we wanna go back and put money in for the deputy town, court clerk? Cause that was the same situation, and I just wanna make sure we're staying consistent across the board.
It is, but it isn't. I
It
mean,
is, but yeah, because
this
we
office
already
is
have a
open
person.
half-time, you know, it's 6 one, half dozen the other, I guess.
And I guess before, and again, to the point of knowing what this job entitles, before we just throw a random number out there, can we table it until someone gets more information about how many hours and what that would look like?
Well, let's get a solid number.
Make a motion at table. 14101.01257.
Second.
You want a longer
and-
on it, sorry.
Yeah, to table it, yeah.
Councilman Herman? Yes. Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Longo?
Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor?
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson?
Yes.
back up to the deputy, first deputy, should that be 32,110 or 31,688?
Oh.
32,110 was the number suggested.
Okay. Thank you.
So if you wanna, so if you're going by your budget officer line,
Yes.
right, so we need to do a
Can we change it?
motion to change that,
Fix that.
yeah.
Motion to change that budget item line on 036 from 31,688 to 32,110.
Second,
Councilwoman Herman?
yes.
Councilman Kramer?
Yes.
Councilman Longo?
Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor?
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson?
Yes. And then moving on to equipment, software, computer, cellular phone, town clerk. So, there are 2 of the items there.
Looks good.
contractual expenses, again, we have advertising, miscellaneous, postage envelopes, equipment repairs, seminars, schooling, mileage, dues, state and county, office supplies, notary fees, records management, easy pass, copier, and book binding.
Okay, under advertising, the department head has 300 and the budget officer has 250, which is it?
Just based on expenditures halfway through the year, thought we could remove $50.
I do have a question on 016, the seminars and schooling. If we do hire a new deputy full-time clerk, there is additional training they're going to need. So I'm wondering if we can maybe boost that up a little bit. Because they're gonna need more training for that position, being it's the full-time position.
Well, is that something where the clerk's office is definitely gonna do for 2026, or are we just funding for the possibility of it? Like, is that, because the way this budget, if it was to pass right now, is we're not funding a part-time deputy clerk and someone, the office would change January 1st.
Right, so if the
And I
office,
just wanna make sure you're prepared.
if the
for
office,
that.
if the office was to change, right? Then the new deputy, I'm assuming it would be a new person, I don't know anybody off the top of my head who's looking for a full-time job. Would need additional training.
Right.
So, in my opinion, that should be increased, because I have not attended much training this year. I had a death in the family, so I wasn't able to attend training. But the deputy would definitely need to go, the new deputy, and I would go as well, so.
So do we have a new number then?
Whatever you wanna make it.
No, but we don't know. We'll go, so what?
The training cost, any idea, ballpark, guesstimate?
I can look at last year's, I don't know off the top of my head, but I could look to see what they charged last year.
Okay, because that's what we need. We don't know it either.
It's about $1,000 off the top of my head. It's a 4-day training, usually off-site, Albany, Syracuse, Niagara Falls is one of the 3
So
locations.
that's for one person?
Yep.
Times 2?
So increase it to 2,000? Anybody thoughts?
That'll cover the sin.
What's that?
If the 2,000 will cover it.
Would you be comfortable with that?
Yep.
For your department, okay. So then I would propose to increase 14104-01, 016, seminars and schooling to 2,000.
Second?
Councilwoman Henry,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
I would like to go back to miscellaneous. You see, we had 7.5, we've, and we spent 259, and the budget officer said 0. So what are we gonna do with this? The request was for 700 from the department head.
Someone doesn't like miscellaneous lines?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, any indication of what that is for your area?
Yep, so that would be, I would put it under office supplies, because it's not just papers and pens, it's usually toilet paper, paper towels, hand soap, sanitizer, a variety of things that, are used, alcohol, wipes, that type of thing.
Okay.
Office supplies lines I use for paper and labels and ink and that type of thing, so if you wanna totally get rid of that line, I would personally increase the office supply line if you don't like the miscellaneous line. I certainly understand that thought process of you don't really know what's in miscellaneous when you just have miscellaneous.
So office supply, we're gonna go to 1,200 then?
That's
I don't know
a
about you.
lot.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with the word miscellaneous. I mean, I've used miscellaneous in the past, but it's usually miscellaneous, and it's A, B, C, D, with a label next to it, is the miscellaneous items, and since we don't do that, I make a motion, we remove the miscellaneous .004 altogether and move any funds to the office supply line.
Second?
So you want that line removed altogether?
Yes.
So we're spending more on paper towel, toiletry, hand sanitizer, wet wipes than we are on binders, labels, and paper.
Well, it's probably binders and labels as well,
Okay.
binders or that kind of thing too, if I run out of office supplies, that's what I've used it for, but. So Mike is making a motion to remove that line altogether, right?
Get rid of the word miscellaneous, move it up to the office supply line, which covers, office supplies really, when you look at, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it is a general category for paper, ink, staples, pens, markers, envelopes, labels, paper towel, sanitizer.
Okay, so can we do one line at a time? So let's do the long roll to remove the 14104.01.0.004. Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
And
then we can look
do whatever
at-
you want, yeah.
We can look at office supply line, which is currently 500. Again, I'm comfortable with that being $900, but $1,225 I think is a little high.
No, I was thinking 1,000 to just round it off, but if you wanted to go 8 or 9, whatever everybody's comfortable with.
In June, we were at 378,
We're at 523 today.
thank you. That's good with 1,000.
Plus what you, then you had 200 and some, so you're, up to 800 already this year.
So I make a motion for line 14104.01 to 028, office supplies to be moved up to 1,000.
Second.
Well, then we're gonna move on. Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Right, any other questions, contractual expenses for the clerk's office?
Notary fees, is someone coming up for renewal, and are we going to need to pay for the, new employee?
That should cover the new employee.
Okay, perfect.
Under record management, on that one there,
You know,
I see we haven't spent anything,
as of yet, but
so it's, and there's, 400 from the department head and 300 from the budget officer, what's the right number?
I'm okay with the 300.
Okay, thank you.
And the easy pass is an in and out, right? Okay, perfect. Everything looks good to me.
Attorney, so we have contractual expenses, it was budgeted for $2,000 in 2025. As you know, we've definitely spent that, hopefully 2026 will be a less, actionable year.
Yeah, we're 3120 to date.
Budgeted, $3,000 for 2026.
I'm good with that.
General code, that is the new number that they sent, 1,300.
Sounds good.
That amount also has to include, like, we update our code book, and they have to go in and do changes, so that's why it was at 2,000.
Oh, okay, let me see, I thought I saw in code enforcement that there was something for that as well. Let me just look real quick. Is that different from under code enforcement equipment software WLB code?
Yes, that's Williamson Law.
Williamson Law.
Yeah, that's the software they use.
Yeah,
But that general code is, they're the ones that created our online zoning ordinance. So whenever we change it, they charge us to go in and make the change.
do we have a price on per change, or is it just kinda like,
We can email them tomorrow and ask them, because
Yeah.
they're, every time you pass a local law that has to do with the zoning code, they have to go in and change it, so we wait till we have a bunch of them.
Okay.
And I believe there are a few.
We do have
Yeah.
quite a few to catch up on.
So maybe Nikki could email them
Okay.
tomorrow and see if that's.
I make a motion to table the general code, .239.
Second.
Councilman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes,
Councilman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Alright, engineer, I didn't budget anything for engineer. Moving on to buildings, personal service, we got the cleaner, part-time cleaner, and the outside maintenance position.
okay. So it looks like the part-time cleaner's covered. On the maintenance, we've talked that we're gonna be hiring a maintenance person. I've done some research, I would like to change that to part-time maintenance, because we put an ad out for 10 hours per week. If you do that times 52, you got 520, and then times 25 bucks an hour, so I would like to change that to $13,000.
Okay, I, again, executive session for that, because that was not what we agreed upon when we put the job posting, which is already active.
So, the job posting's got that,
$25 an hour?
yeah, that's what it says in there.
I'd have to read the minutes, I'm pretty sure it was $21.
No, it's right in the ad.
Well, there is no ad, it just says see town clerk for information.
Well, it was put out,
I can pull a legal notice on it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just make sure that
Yep.
it's.
Okay, we'll
Yep.
table it.
let's check it.
Okay, so you're tabling this outside maintenance,
Yes, please.
motion from,
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Longo,
Yes,
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Okay, generator costs. And then contractual expenses.
The only question I had about building repairs and renovations is, are we, allowing for making sure that the back door here is getting fixed and that the doors are getting painted? We've discussed those as projects. I don't know if we made allowances for those.
For under the repairs, building repairs.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we allowed for that or what, cause I know those were two things that we had discussed, was making sure that this door worked properly and getting the doors painted.
I mean,
That's been working.
yeah,
Oh, it is? Okay.
I think we've been discussing painting the doors since 2024, so I don't know, you know, again, who's responsible for moving on that and getting that quoted or RFP put out. There's been no board resolution on it, and there's been no current discussion on that project, so, I mean, we can add it in there, I don't know what number to put on that.
Right, I was just bringing it up as it was a discussion that we had had, that I had made a note on my current budget for the next year.
So, I mean, again, how much it would cost to get those doors painted, I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't have that number.
Kathy, can either of any of that be included in the JCAP?
I'm including it in the rate cap application, but whether they give it to us or not.
Right.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so that can just, we'll wing it.
back to the telephone, we spent 3502 already this year, so is 35 gonna be enough?
Is that Verizon bill or?
No, that's Time Warner and Verizon, so we have landlines for our fax machine. And then Verizon Wireless we have for our desk phones, but I want to use the modem from the sewer plant for Verizon Wireless at the town hall, which will be $40 a month instead of 90. So
Okay.
if that's, I think 35 would be good.
So we'll be all right?
I think so, yes.
Good.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
All right, maintenance supplies, trash collection was increased slightly, water and sewer, and then renovations kept the same, internet, and the security system. And the security system, as we know, is kind of based on how many calls we make out to them per year. But I figure we increase that.
Cause this year we spent 1,058 already, so how can 600 be enough?
Well, let's hope that they worked out some of their bugs and quirks that were going on with the system. You know, is there ever a time that we could rebid that for service to that alarm system? If it gets a little, cause I did have a conversation with the provider, multiple times we called them for their issue, that they didn't have a solution for and they still billed us. And I thought I had kind of a problem with that. So yeah, I mean, it's something we should keep an eye on.
Maybe that's something we can look at for next year.
So we're gonna take a chance and go with the 600? Silence.
How much have we already spent?
1,000.
1,058. And will we get billed more at this year, Kat?
I don't take care of that now. How do you know if they bill quarterly or monthly?
It's quarterly.
I don't think I've ever filled out that voucher.
Yeah, I think it's quarterly.
It's quarterly, so.
So if we got another quarter to go.
This might be a stupid comment, but I don't know a ton about security systems, but I'm thinking, if we take a chance with the 600 and there's continuous problems next year, wouldn't that warrant looking at the security system we're using? To see if that's the most cost effective?
Yeah, we just discussed that, yeah.
So to Ron's point, I'm leaving it at the 600, just leaving it as a portion of my program.
Wait, what?
Are we leaving it at the 600 or do we wanna look at increasing it a little
I
bit?
think we gotta split the difference.
Maybe do 8?
Yeah.
Alright.
Make a motion to change the security system from 600 to 800.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Monroe,
Yes.
Councilwoman Teeter,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Alright, Cable Vision franchise to county. I have not heard anything yet from them. So, that just lives there.
Will there be a number though, or we don't know if there will be a number?
Yeah, usually in the fall, they provide us with information.
So, should we put a number in there?
Well, I mean, just to amend it, I'm pretty sure we'll have it before we have a final vote on our budget.
Okay, so we can amend it later.
Or we just leave it blank and then when I get the number, we can, do an amendment and just add it. Instead of coming up with a number now, just to amend it later again. Just wait for the number and we'll
Looks good.
Good to me.
Okay. Insurance contractual expenses, I just met with our insurance rep last week. He's putting together, the rough estimate of what we should be paying, coming up. But he's usually a latecomer as well, so hopefully we'll have that by the time we pass our final budget, which we normally do. But he said roughly like, 5 to 8% increase across the
Got
board.
people melting, so.
I turned it down.
It
Or somebody
was
got
on
that.
heat, so I'll turn it to cool.
The contingency budget, I increased that slightly because my 2 years tenure, we've gone through it, so we had a little bit more funds into our
I
budget.
checked the operating statement, it says 0.
Pretty sure we're using it for our website.
Yeah, I just haven't done the journal entry yet.
Yeah,
We haven't
Oh,
paid
okay.
for the website yet, so I
Yeah.
don't do the journal entry until we actually
right.
do the
So,
pay.
okay. Yeah, when I see 0, I'm okay.
Everybody okay with 7,000?
Yep.
Yep.
Bypassing all the blanks here that we don't need, they're not applicable to us, school aid.
Here's what it is.
We've only spent 607, so do we need to have 2,000?
I don't know, that was a cost that was acquired before my time.
Can we check, Kathy, what we paid last year and
Sure.
see what that is? So, we gotta do
We've only spent 407, right?
No, see, these numbers are old, I picked up the new
Oh, recent, I'm sorry.
operating statement, and we're at 607 right now.
You'll have to table that one, because I don't have access.
Make a motion to table 33104.010000, school late.
Second?
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Monmouth,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Great, next area is our control of dogs, I like how that's worded. Our dog control officer.
Looks fine.
Did, he put these numbers in, or I see he did not get a raise, is that?
No, correct. He did not put the numbers in, and no, he did not get a raise.
Any reason he didn't get a raise?
After talking to Mark, we thought his salary, what he gets, for the hours that he puts in, he was satisfactory to that.
Okay.
Any other questions on the contractual expenses?
Oh, good.
Board of Health Personal Services in name only. Vital statistics, we have registrar and deputy registrar. These were submitted and then, for record, also proposed to just stay that number, and not receive any further increases moving forward in years to come. Everybody good with those numbers?
Thank you.
Superintendent of Highways, Personnel Services, so we have the Highway Superintendent, part-time secretary, 5 hours a week, and vehicle expense. As you can see, like I said, I removed the part-time secretary, 5 hours a week, and placed it back into the general, office clerk role. And then the vehicle expense, I didn't put a number in there, just because I wanted to, I don't know what they planned. Tim was prior to Tim, taking his leave, he was talking about, maybe putting away like, money for a new vehicle, if that would like decrease vehicle expenses or if this is a set amount, I wasn't sure, so.
What about Steve? Did you talk to Steve? He's gonna be the new man.
I did not talk to Steve, because he's currently not the office holder. I did talk to Tim though prior to him, taking his leave. He submitted his budget numbers. So I don't know if that's a standalone number for vehicle expense. I mean, I don't care either way, we can put whatever number we need to in there.
Well, I guess I'd like to get an answer from Steve.
Kathy, can I ask a question? Take home vehicle, what is that vehicle expense used for?
I have to charge Tim.
Yep.
He has to pay taxes on that money, so when he takes the vehicle home, as far as I know, Steve does not wanna take the vehicle home like when I would ask him.
Okay,
So
Okay.
you have to pay taxes on money,
Right.
so it's under W two, so.
okay, so then we should table this until we talk to Steve to find out what his, preferences of taking a vehicle home or coming back and getting the vehicle home. Okay, so I make a motion to table 50101.246 vehicle expense until we talk to Steve.
Second.
Who's gonna take that on?
I can talk to him.
Oh, okay, I was just saying,
Councilwoman Herman,
yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Rondo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Do we need a motion to remove 059, part-time secretary?
It's already been removed.
Do we,
Oh,
Do we need
this
a
one
motion?
down. You need to remove that whole.
Do we wanna remove that position fully from all future? Maybe not.
yes.
Not
I
for
mean-
tonight's conversation.
Mhm.
I guess that deciding on what we talk about in executive session moving forward.
Okay. So then should we motion to table that one also? Or will we just come back around to it?
Let's table it so we make sure we address it.
Okay.
I make a motion we table 0.059, part-time secretary.
Second?
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Rondo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Great. Contractual expenses, seminars, mileage, and dues. Any questions on those?
Looks good.
Contractual expenses, miscellaneous, telephone, building repairs, painting, gas, electric maintenance, records removal, water, sewer, alarm system, annual maintenance. Did you see the miscellaneous, is in there? Yeah,
So we're gonna get rid of this one?
yes, I was going back and forth with Tim in our discussion about what he was gonna use it for, but then I reassured him that he hasn't used it in like 5 years. So,
Okay.
I'll make a motion
yeah,
to
we
remove 00.
remove that.
I make a motion we remove .004 miscellaneous.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Rondo,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
On the phone, so far, we've spent $1346. So is $1,100 gonna be enough for next year?
Why are our phone bills so expensive for landlines?
Is that for the highway department?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember about a few months back, you guys switched to the Verizon wireless modem, which saves like $70 a month. So that's why it was going over, because Time Warner increased the prices.
So it
now
should
it's $40
technically.
a month instead of 120.
So the 1100 should be covered.
So that's why it went over.
Yeah,
It was just-
we
Okay.
just
We're up
did
to
that.
1346.
Yeah, it was just like 4 months ago.
Okay, so then we'll be seeing that next year as less of an expense than it was this year. Okay,
Oh, okay.
perfect.
Okay, thank you.
comes to maintenance, we have nothing in maintenance. Just curious why we removed that.
Well, because the building repairs and painting line is pretty healthy, and then there's some other line items in the highway department that they usually use for smaller maintenance issues.
Okay.
You know, he didn't specify anything.
Okay.
The blanks, you know, you'll see in the highway department too, I mean, if it's left blank, it's, he didn't give me a number, so.
Well, I was just
No, it makes
Yeah.
sense, yeah, makes sense.
asking as to.
Any other questions on contractual expenses? Okay. The next one, off-street parking, ceiling lot, museum, library, municipal, should be like, you know, I know we talked about that, there's an RFP out right now. Currently, which we were talking about having, you know, the pricing to be good, hopefully for the summer of 2026. So once that is closed up, which I think was what, October 10th, I think that was for. We'll have a better idea of what we need to budget for.
So that's every 3 years, that's, it's in a reserve.
Some of it
We
is,
put that in the
Some of
reserve.
it, some of it is.
I've gotten 2 estimates back, the lowest is $12,000.
To do all of them?
Yeah, last time we paid like 6,700, so that's increased that much. We don't have that much.
Was that from the same outfit or not?
No, I can't get that out if it's found. I don't know if he retired or. I tried to call Tim the other day to ask him if he had maybe a cell phone number or something, but I think he goes to Florida for the winter. Right now you have $5,600 in there for the reserve for the, sealing of the driveways.
Okay.
So then are we tabling this one for right now?
I make a motion we table 56504.01.216 ceiling, so we get the RFP back.
Second?
Councilwoman Freeman.
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Taylor.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Moving on to Parks Personal Services, we have the park cleaner. Any questions? Moving on to equipment, we have Civic Rec software, playground, kitchen equipment, lawnmower, tractor, that's it. So. No, I don't think we need to budget anything for the lawnmower tractor this year, we're not buying one, we just did. And kitchen equipment based on some of the equipment that is in there currently, I upped that by $500. Any questions on that?
No?
Going into contractual expenses. You know, standard increases for gas and electric, garbage removal.
There again, we gotta remove the miscellaneous. 044. Cause we did spend money this year. So we're getting rid of all the miscellaneous, correct?
Be like,
No, that's what
you
you
can just leave it,
decided.
you can leave it blank. Yeah, I'm just saying, not to put money in it.
I make a motion that we remove 004 miscellaneous. I'm not gonna use them anymore, so let's get it out.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman.
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
We're still good on the line marking We don't have anything in there, we're still good with supplies on that?
Yeah, as far as I know, based off the inventory from the advisory board.
Okay, perfect.
On refuse removal, we spent $475. The department head wants 900 and the budget officer wants 6. So what's the right number?
So there is no department head for the Parks Department, that was filled out by Tim.
Kathy, do we have numbers that are gonna prove it one way or the other?
What line you, what line you?
Refuse removal?
047.
I believe we had we had to have it dumped a couple extra times because of the renovations or something, and then now that we have it open all year, it all depends on how many times you rent it out, and how many times it gets dumped, I mean, I would,
So, as of 9:30, it was $475.
right?
What do they charge per visit? Do you know that?
I think it's 75 up there.
So then probably we're already, okay. All right. Okay.
Look at the bathroom maintenance for the door. 200 gonna be enough to repair and fix and secure it.
But repair parts,
Yeah, for the exterior bathroom door that's currently closed.
but you're looking at line item 070?
No, 064.
064.
064. Okay. Well, again, I know that RFP has not gone out yet to fix that door, so I really, I'd like to get an accurate number once we get bids back.
I mean, that's not even close based
No,
on what
right.
we're asking for.
That's why I just stayed that number until, because I know we're working on RFPs that we're still waiting to publish, so we can get that information.
So which line are we potentially putting it under? Where would it fall? Would it fall under bathroom maintenance or repair parts?
Bathroom maintenance makes sense.
That would make sense
Yeah.
to me. So we want to table that one until we have better numbers.
So my question is, the RFP hasn't gone out, right?
No.
Have you even had a resolution for it to go out?
No.
So are you gonna have a resolution done, the RFP out and back in before this budget? Okay.
Probably not.
Just a question.
So then do we want to accommodate that with more potential funds? Or how do we want to do it?
I mean, if you go that route, you're gonna have to appropriate fund balance anyways, because if you're off, you're still gonna have to move money
Right.
to pay for the difference. So it doesn't really matter if you leave $200 in there, or if we put $1,000 in there, I mean, you're still gonna have to
Right.
move money based on the RFP.
So then I guess we leave it and we worry about it later, because it'll probably be something that won't be done until spring at this point.
For sure.
Just-
But not budgeting anything, won't be able to do it.
Right. It's double-edged sword.
You can always make a budget amendment based on what you need.
I mean, my guesstimate based on my door experience, window experience, is about a $4,000 or $5,000 job. And that all depends on the locking device that comes with it. That could be very expensive, and that could be $1,000 just by itself.
So then do we wanna make a plan that will just move the money later? Or do we wanna put something in here to pad not really pad, I don't wanna say that word, scratch that.
Well, not knowing the cost, it's
Right.
hard to put a number in there and
Exactly.
feel comfortable about it. Either way, it's one after the other. Do a budget amendment.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave it and do a budget amendment later.
We're leaving 2? Right?
Yes.
Equipment outhouse that was increased just because of the need for, have it earlier in the spring up there.
Oh, for the park? Yeah, they need a porta potty up there by April 1st.
Yep.
For the kids to be up there.
Again, line marker's okay, that's why that's blank. Paper goods,
Let's go back to gasoline for tractor,
okay.
that we don't spend any money and we're putting money in there.
Well, I mean, I guess that
Do they
depends
do it?
on how that's invoiced out, because we do get, it is broken apart on the invoice, it says like park. But I don't know how, because again, usually Steve submits those, and or him or Tim or Nikki in the past do those.
Okay.
So it could just be as simple as not putting that GL accounting in there, but I do see that we spend
A lot.
on tractor gas, yeah.
So they must be putting it under a different line item, huh?
Yeah, I think it warrants leaving it there,
Okay.
so that if Steve does specifically,
Nikki does the voucher for that.
Thank you.
The school sends it, and I think it depends on what key they use down there, so if Steve's using the key to do the tractor gas, is that how it works, Dave? I don't know.
What's that?
The key at the school gas thing,
There's only one key.
one key?
Yeah.
You have to put a
It's up
code
to the
in?
school to do that, then.
You just put in a vehicle number. So.
And then you're gonna have a couple line items on it, so it's like code enforcement, or whatever. But we can look into that, make sure it's being applied appropriately. Sounds good. Any other questions under contractual expenses?
Yeah, paper goods, we spent $1,376.
Mhm.
So, is 600 or 500 gonna be enough?
I think it will be, I think we ran into several situations where things were duplicated and bought again due to the old gas cleaner. You know, it was over purchased from request, so I think we'll be okay. I mean, definitely something to look at now that we are, you know,
Open year round?
year round, right,
but we have quite a stock
right.
built up, okay.
But even for that, the outdoor bathrooms haven't been in use for months.
Right. And maybe with the new cleaner, we can get a
Better gauge.
better gauge of what we're using and how we're using it, maybe an inventory to kind of be able to keep track of it a little better.
Does the paper goods, does that also take into consideration then summer rec?
Yeah, all the toilet paper,
Yeah.
paper towel, things like that, garbage bags.
I don't know if this would, I don't know where this would go, but it came up this year about repairing the, bleachers and such. At one point this year, Justin took it on by coordinating with Steve, because there were concerns that people could get injured on the bleachers with the way the wood was, and actually Justin did a lot.
Under various improvements?
Or is it under playground maintenance?
Under playground
I
equipment?
did put an extra couple $100 in playground maintenance for paint, sand, and, for that. But I did just also find out as well, not to be a stickler from our, from Nymar Insurance, that our bleachers are too tall. And we should have a back on them. So, you know, not that it really, they're not gonna come in and shut us down, but, you know, again, if there was a fall off the back or injury, that could definitely be a liability. So I thought that was really interesting, so I don't know if maybe in the future, somebody could take that on and get new bleachers, or put a backstop on them as part of a continuous improvement up there, but there's a couple $100 in there for paint and sandpaper, I think that's appropriate.
So I wonder if you've never brought that up before, because we've had those bleachers forever. Interesting.
Well, this wasn't our regular insurance, it wasn't Tim, this was a risk guy who comes out and
Yeah, I
looks,
thought,
yeah, you saw him. He really likes his job.
They
That's
normally
right.
do.
the museum's good, so. it's
Can we modify those bleachers to make them a little lower? Can we take a layer off?
I don't know about lower, I think that was exposed metal, that might just add to the issue, but I think it'd be easier to actually add a backstop. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be a backstop and like a 2-foot railing on each side of it.
I would look at it from a liability standpoint, if we fabricate and we own the liability, then I think we need to get the bleacher standard of what is the standard for that, and we might end up having a budget to purchase new bleachers and destroying those.
Cause it's only like 30 inches high,
That's not very high.
no, it's like three rows.
Three rows,
That's it, so. But, it's for another day. Any other line items here? The stove refrigerator repairs, increase that. And then the insect control was increased as well.
Yeah, we spent 747 already this year. Based on that number, is that gonna be enough? We had to be up there several times.
They will come back.
So should that be like?
I think we move that up, I mean, you going into this year, we're gonna be, I guess. Actually, when you look at it, that far off, for a couple extra times where they had to come. And I have not heard of any reported other problems yet, so that's a good thing.
Make it 800 instead?
I make a motion to make it 800 on line .078 insect control.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Lovell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
I guess.
Okay, that was discussed. Two recommendations that came out of the Parks and Rec Advisory Board were, budgeting for $500 to do upgrade the storage shed so additional shelves can be put in. They've done a lot of work the past year in getting that organized and secured in a way that preserves the equipment that's been purchased. And then the other thing that was a recommendation was getting a lock for summer rec, to lock up the rec food and supplies. Apparently there was an issue, with people getting into some of the summer rec stuff.
Do they have a place that can lock or need something, they need a cabinet and
I mean, the door's locked. So what kind of, now what kind of a lock do we need?
For cabinet that they use.
Oh, okay, for a cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Is it in that room?
You're talking in the kitchen?
Office, they have the whole office as summer rec.
I think what happened, from my understanding, is that some of the staff would bring their lunch in and stuff and leave it there, but then, people would get into it.
Where would they leave it?
I don't know, all I know is it was discussed about making different, did you ever hear about anything with that?
I know they have a roller cart, like, that locks already. But
Mhm.
I think that's like for crafts and arts and crafts and like materials and things. The office locks, however, hopefully with the new kind of, pest control that we've addressed,
Mhm.
that it would be a healthier, safer place to store food.
Right.
I know last year and then into this year it wasn't, until we figure out that friendly visitors aren't there anymore. But other than that, I haven't heard anything about that being a problem. Maybe it's just a one-off. But if they need a lock of some sort, I mean, like, go to Lowe's and buy a lock, it's like $20. And as far as the shed goes, I read the recommendations and it wasn't really clear if it was like a whole new shed or like revamping the shed that's up there right now.
No, they just wanna upgrade it so that it's organized
The
and
interior.
structured in their
Yeah.
their
Just
shelves.
put new shelves
But
in.
lockers and storage shelf, like, I know the lockers was a discussion, like,
Yeah, cause we had talked about what was down in the basement.
right,
Didn't they buy lockers
No,
and shelving last year?
Downstairs.
I was gonna say, there's lockers downstairs that can be moved to the shed that will accommodate some of the smaller items. that
yeah, I
you
think
put
they
in
felt
there.
it was too small to
But
put.
they need the bigger ones for like the
Mhm.
bats and the bat bags, cause those are taller, the ones that are downstairs are probably like 1x1s, maybe?
Yeah, they weren't very big, and now we have the basketball equipment, which we haven't had the last couple of years, and that's in our possession now, so.
What are we gonna put it under?
Various improvements.
Various
Various
improvements, goes up
improvements,
by-
strikes the only look like the money. So you wanna increase that by what, 500?
Please.
So make it 700 then?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we, increase 075, various improvements to $500.
From 200 to 500 now?
Yeah, from 200 to 500.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Excuse me, no, wait a minute.
You meant 700.
700 because there's already 200 there and she wants 500 additional.
Right.
So it should be 700, I'm sorry.
So you made the motion, Mike, you second that to 700?
Correct.
Try that again, Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Monaville,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson. Yes.
Alright, any other line items in contractual expenses for the park?
Mhm.
Moving on to youth programs, personal services, so we have, that's where our counselors, head counselor, night park supervisor, summer rec director, basketball, concession stands, we don't have that, soccer, baseball, adult rec, sponsorship spots for summer rec, and, our recreation grant live. Those are our big staffing components for year-round seasonal youth programming. As you can see, I budgeted for counselors, a head counselor, a summer rec director. And also for sponsorship spots for summer camp, field trips. And everything else stayed the same, so. All the coordinators got 3% increases to their pay.
What's the rationale for the 10,000?
The amount of work that goes into,
That's just for
Yes.
summer rec.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
How much per hour and how many hours is that? I'd like to know.
So that was gonna be the question, if we wanted to do that as a per hour or a stipend, because it is kind of like, well, we start in April, and then it kind of goes to August, but it's really the swing of things the full 6 weeks, and that's the discussion. If you wanted to break it apart hourly, because this is just for summer rec, this is not a year-round rec director position.
My only initial thought with that is if we're gonna jump that up so high, the coordinator positions, they do a lot of work to improve the rec program. And when you take into consideration what they're getting paid compared to the amount of hours they're putting into it, it's, for me, increasing the summer rec director that significantly and not doing anything for the sports coordinator is, it's a disservice to them. and I think it's not equitable in any way.
So
So,
we've gotta look at those hours, I mean, that's a lot of money.
well, I think in my mind, that's where it comes into having an actual recreation director. Because there's a lot of work that gets done for the rec program that could be served by a rec director that, if you take into consideration your Parks and Rec Advisory Board, the coordinators, they're putting a lot of extra effort in. You know, I think Justin Minier, he's been running since March, when he started baseball and softball, and he's doing fall ball right now. And he took it on, and he's been running it all himself without a night park supervisor, and under the same amount that he was making, which he's not complaining about, but I think, you know, we need to take a look at equity.
Okay, well, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but when it comes to workload and the requirements of our summer rec director compared to our very seasonal part-time coordinators for our sports program, the responsibility, accountability is tenfold more. There are compliance issues with New York State, there's sex registry checklists, there's background checks, there's safety plans that are drawn up that have to be adhered to, there's traveling arrangements, she travels with the kids, that she's fully responsible for, 75 kids every day up at the park. There's a lot of monitoring, a lot of stuff that goes on in the background. Food compliance, health safety at the lodge, inspections from the state, all that. I think myself, when I was helping this year, I think I put in easily 60 hours with New York State getting our camp approved. So, I don't like the word equitable because until we compare apples to apples and not apples to oranges, it doesn't apply. Our coordinators, as blessed as we are to have them, they know that's a job of love and caring, that is not meant to be paid a substantial amount of money. And getting those 3% increases every year is a reward for their good work and their hard work that they do. If you wanna talk about comparing a part-time summer rec director who works like April through August, we'll say, compared to a park and rec director year-round, $10,000 compared to, we're looking at $40,000, $50,000, $56,000 for that position for anyone to apply, because it is civil service, you need a bachelor's degree. So,
Not necessarily, rec supervisor is under the help program,
right,
which doesn't require civil service.
no, but the job description, you have to pay somebody with that job description with the requirements of having a bachelor's degree will be expecting the pay of a bachelor's degree. They're still guided by a civil service job description and requirements, it's just you're bypassing the testing.
Right.
So I don't know, what exactly the conundrum is with a $5,000 jump. If that's a sticking point, then we can continue talking about that, but I think that's more than healthy, considering that's like pays for a quarter of a full-time staff member per year.
So if we were looking at a part-time rec director, where would we slide that into?
That'd be in that department, or that section.
And I can see like the baseball coordinator maybe increasing that one a little bit because there is now regular and fall ball, because they're doing 2 different seasons. I could see maybe boosting that one to, I don't know, like 3. Because there is an additional season involved, so there is an additional putting the teams together and responsibility.
More money for more work, I agree.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't, that was one of my notes, was because we're doing fall ball and regular ball, that one should definitely be increased. And if we wanted to do 3 this year, just to see how that worked out, I don't think that would be, looking for anybody else's opinion on that. But I was thinking just because he is doing more, that he should get a little bit more in that respect.
So you're making a motion to make it 3,000?
Yeah, I guess I will.
Just a question.
73101.01.192 baseball coordinator to 3,000. I move.
Second?
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Londa,
Yes.
Councilwoman Taylor,
Yes.
Supervisor Thompson.
Yes.
Back to the summer rec director, do they punch a clock or no?
Well, no, again, that would be the conversation. So the past 2 years, it's been off a grant, so it's just a flat payment. Moving forward, we can keep it, we could do a stipend, or we can, you know, if you wanted to punch a clock, I think honestly that number would be higher. Because of the work
I mean,
that goes
even
into it.
if we figured this out to 6 weeks, it's a substantial amount per week. And a substantial amount per hour. I don't think other than the guys on the highway department
Yeah.
would make even close to that.
I mean, if the person's working from April to August, you know, you're looking at 200 hours, like $50 an hour
Right,
for a part-time gig. That's no benefits, no nothing.
right.
And it's kinda hard, right, to put a number on childcare at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So you're leaving that line as is?
I get it, you know, I'm an advocate for all people, especially working with children, to make good money. I don't know what it entails, I've never followed the summer rec director to see exactly what they do from April to August, but I know it's like, you know, shooting pool with a rope, right? And all the kids and the field trips and all that.
Let's leave it at 10.
Let's see where it goes.
But the other side of the equation, are we leaving it at 10 at salary, or we leaving it at 10 and it's punch a clock? I'm not,
I would say it should be stipend or salaried at that amount, not to exceed.
I wouldn't punch a clock personally.
No, I
think
don't
too
think
much-
punching a
Too
clock
much
is
gray
a good
area
idea.
at the beginning to get things organized.
Let's put
I
in a
think
number.
I think that way too, you know,
Yeah.
you could tell them, this is what your pay is, no matter how many hours you put in. It's up to
Right.
you, it's up to you.
Right.
If you wanna start in
I
January,
think it was like 20.
then you start in January, but you're not getting paid for it.
Right, no, I agree with that, I think that, you know, at this point, we've been working off of a grant too, so we've kind of been waiting for the grant to come before we can start. If we're not looking at the grant anymore and we're funding it ourselves, we can start earlier in the process. So that would mean that they could start in January, getting their paperwork together, getting everything together, making sure that everything is set and,
Yes and no, we don't,
Yeah.
we don't get the packet from the state till like April.
Right.
You know, but yeah, I agree, I mean, if someone's ambitious and they wanna just
Yeah.
go and do things and get it going, yeah, more power to you.
you could start, you know, a month or so ahead of the, or, you know, you could start in March and again, the effort you put in and your time is how you
So,
see that figure.
let me be the devil's advocate for a minute. So if we have the title summer recreation director, and we have the dollars and cents for that title, is that now become a civil service task and civil service required? Even though it's a part-time temporary task? I mean, are we gonna do this, approve the budget, then all of a sudden HR calls from the county saying, hey, by the way, you know, you need to cross A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And at that point, I'm gonna say that I'd rather take those funds and hire a recreation director at 30 hours a week or 25 hours a week that has duly qualified and dots all the i's.
So when it comes to using civil service, to your point, For this position, you know, like we went through, it doesn't matter if you're part-time, seasonal, whatever, you have to adhere to the civil service, guidelines. There are positions, to Marty's point, there are like supervisory positions that this can fall under that match the expected pay, I would say, for someone in that position. You know, again, 'cause it's a part-time program, it's a one-time program, you're not running the whole department. I think that's where we get in trouble with thinking it's easy to get a rec director, is now you're talking about a department head, and, you know, it could be part-time, yes, 20 hours a week, but they're gonna expect to get paid as a department head, and not as like a seasonal part-time helper. And so I think that's my difference between the two, is it's all civil service. We can't put that in under as a laborer, so.
Well, I can agree with that, and I would say also your sports coordinators would be doing a service for them to compensate what they're doing. Some of them go months and months in the planning. So I think it's hard to say one is more important or more responsible than the other.
Oh, I will say that.
Okay.
I think in terms of responsibility, accountability, and liability, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Well, then I would also say that I think that we should look at summer rec, if we are gonna look at doing a significant increase, that there needs to be some kind of, time scale of what is involved and a report to the board in what's involved in being a summer rec director.
Yeah, that's at the board's discretion, absolutely, if they require.
I'm pretty sure that the individual that's done it the last couple of years checks the requirement boxes though. Just throwing it out there.
Well, and I guess that's the other thing, Summer, if you're saying that you spent 60 hours yourself putting work into summer rec, where's that time gonna come from?
From, what do you mean, from my standpoint, or from the rec director's standpoint?
From supporting the summer rec program. I don't have 60 hours to give up to put in towards summer rec.
I don't think anybody's expecting you to, I mean.
Well, but that's what I'm saying, if you're saying you spent 60 hours.
From April to August. So it's just a regular part of my everyday job. And, you know, along with the director and what they do, so.
I mean, we can leave it in there, see where it shakes out with the total, with the new total on the end, and we may have to take another pass at it. Thoughts?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's maybe say that this is a section that we will wanna come back to, the personnel services and youth programs. Once everything, cause I know, we don't wanna go line by line constantly. But I think we should maybe make this youth program personal services something we come back to after we've completed all the other areas. Does that sound?
Well, if we're gonna do that, then why don't, we're just looking at a number to start with, why don't we put in a rec director too, because that's what's been recommended by the review board.
We can do that, is there a number?
Yes, $29,970 for 20 hours a week.
I'm sorry, that was $29.78
$29,970,
or 70, I'm sorry.
78.
78, okay, thank you.
So now you made a motion for the part-time rec director
Yes,
at $29,978.
Second.
Do we have a line for that?
Mm-mm.
No,
Okay.
we can go .01A. I don't know what the accounting, you know, right, I have to look at the software to figure it out, or refer to Kathy for another category.
I just won't put a number, finish the number yet. Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes.
Councilman Littlefield,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
No.
The other thing I wanted to bring up is the night park supervisor. One of the things that came out of the Park and Rec Advisory Board was looking at maybe having the night park supervisor be broken down by sports season. So instead of it being for the full March till through October, that it be, connected to the sports seasons, which would give other people opportunity for that position. I don't know what that would look like from a numbers perspective.
I think from an HR perspective, it's kind of difficult to resign, hire for every sport. Is, you know, that'd be for Kathy as well, to keep track of that all year round, with the possibility of 1, 2, 3, 4 possible turnovers. I think that's a lot, to track.
I mean, the only other option would be to have one person do it half the season, the other person do it the other half of the season, and split the pay in half, but then is it really worth it at that point?
Is that position a stipend or is that hourly?
That's payroll.
Well, let's leave it the way it is, you advertise it, if somebody takes it, the way it is, it's good.
The other thing, and I'm not sure where it would go, but I'm thinking somewhere in here, is there've been discussions around putting the senior citizen budget under the rec department, so that it's really looking at the whole community, not necessarily just youth.
Where is
So the next page.
Celebrations and,
Bottom of page 8.
it's under the,
No,
It's at the bottom.
celebrations,
bottom.
contractual
oh,
expenses.
celebrations.
Oh. Yeah.
I mean, if it was our senior club, I would say yes, that's an easy move, but they're a separate nonprofit.
Actually, they're not.
They're not,
They're a club, yeah.
They might be a club,
They're a club,
they're not,
yeah.
they're not a nonprofit.
So
They don't have a tax ID number or federal ID number, or a group of people that got together,
Oh, okay, 'cause,
is what I was told, but I got to ask.
No, you're
the
right
officer
about
for
that.
sure.
Esther Hutt. She told me it was a 5013 or a 6C.
No, because they wanted to do something, and
Membership.
they needed a tax ID number, they don't have one.
yeah, and Esther's not even doing it anymore, she's still,
Oh,
she
I know, she's
Yeah.
passed away, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I had not physically asked, but I just know that came up in a conversation that they,
Isn't your wife the vice president?
no,
mm-mm.
Michelle Kramer?
no, she resigned about 8 weeks ago.
I know the new president is very nice. I mean, we can reach out to her and just make sure that they don't have filings somewhere. It's, yeah, when I talked to Esther, and again, she was pretty old when I talked to her. I don't know a nicer way to put it, but, I mean, I thought she said it was this 5016 for membership dues, but I don't know. I've never gotten confirmation on that. Okay.
I know they're not option to being under the town to really help them with their programming and stuff, and the answer was no.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be asking us for that if they did have nonprofits.
That brings me to another point, I know I'm getting off topic here, but that's for money. So we give a non-entity money, we just give strangers pretty much on the street money.
Or you could look at it.
No
that-
protection of tax ID, no protection of nonprofit status, no protections of the charity bureau of the state. Just,
Or what
Something,
about an organization that serves the
no,
senior
take,
population?
no, take off the word organization, because it's not.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with you, but I just think.
No, it's a great point, but
There's
like I say, I don't know the
Yeah,
details,
I
I don't know, I'm hearing one side they are, and the other side they don't. I'm not that involved with the group to know for sure. The simplest part would be if they had a tax ID number, then the problem goes away.
Yeah,
I'm also curious what Williamson does.
they joined. They combined,
They combine,
yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Williamston has their own,
but a lot of them are
But
over
they-
here.
they cross over.
Okay.
So we'll have to confirm, we need to confirm the status of their filing with that.
I just think we have to keep in mind, this is just my take on it, and maybe it's because I'm rising up there in age, but that the senior population are taxpayers. And the ones that live here and pay taxes contribute towards the money that comes in. And I think one of the things I've heard from people is that, sometimes as people get older, they feel like, a lot of the programs here can be for the kids and stuff, and if their kids are all grown up and out of the house, how can they benefit from the taxes in Marion? So, that's my
Well, I
opinion.
mean, the only other thing would be then under adult recreation, that kind of entity includes those seniors.
Well, we would have to come up with programming that we
Right.
fund.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would end up having to be classified then under adult recreation and a program would have to be created. Um,
Well, we can, that's coming up, but,
We can revisit it, and we can even
Take
get
a
maybe
long look
to
for the
Cindy
record.
Eichwood or someone to,
Have they requested that,
what?
the senior group? Did they request that?
Request what, Lauren?
What you talking about? Join the program piece?
Well, we did
Adult
give,
program.
No, the
So why-
Park and Rec Advisory Board wanted to encompass everybody, right? Did I understand it to be that way, correct?
Well, they can just get them, right?
They can what?
Just talk to the group and they get them. They don't have to set anything up. They would just join. But they've got
Join
their
what?
own
The
group.
town?
They've got their own group here, their own club. So, I guess, I don't get it.
I think that's where the confusion is that they call themselves the Senior Citizen Club, but there is technically no official club. It is the group that gets together and they kind of have their own,
Every
they've
town,
created their own.
every town has,
Right, but
Yeah,
I'm saying
the
is they
town-
don't
town
have an
support it.
official, they're not an official capacity. They're great people who get together and enjoy each other's company and wanna do things together, like trips and lunches and those types of things. But they are not an official entity, an official business entity. That's what I think the disconnect is.
and we don't, as a town of our size, we don't have like a Department of Aging. I mean, the county does, there's a lot of good resources there. But even then, they don't really plan fun activities. I mean, they go out and do some lunches once a month with certain groups around the county, and that's really about it. So, yeah. So like I said, we're gonna have to confirm their status and see where they fall and what their plans are for the future. And maybe that's something they're interested in doing, is becoming a nonprofit, so they can reap more benefits from government services. Don't know, that's something. And you said you got the long roll, right? Okay. So we did get the long roll for adding the part-time rec director. For equipment, basketball, soccer, youth, baseball, and volleyball.
I did have a question about the youth baseball and the
Yes.
equipment because of what we spent, but I do believe, don't we bring in monies that get used towards that expenditure, so it doesn't, it looks really disconnected, but it's not because the monies are there through the program.
Correct,
Okay.
registration fees. And
Okay.
the reason it's only $500 less this year is because I know last year there was a lot of purchases.
Yes.
There was a lot of makeup, a lot of inventory adjustment, and so that's that justification. Any questions on equipment?
So I don't see any department head so does the people that are running the programs agree with all these numbers?
Because we don't have a department head for our parks and recreation.
But we have individuals that you could talk
They,
to to
yeah,
see if you get the,
seasonal part-time
So they
coordinators
agree
don't
with
have
all
a
your
say in
numbers.
our budget. Like,
they
it's
agree
the
with all your
board.
numbers, that's all I wanna know.
No, I do not talk to them about it, no.
And they're the ones that do all the buying and they do all.
Well, I took recommendations from the Park and Rec Advisory Board as planned.
Oh, okay, but there's your answer, good.
Yeah, that's it,
Thanks.
not individuals. Contractual expenses. Advertising, miscellaneous, postage, mileage, safety material, youth programs, CPR first aid, field trips, and empires.
What's the 3,000 for youth programs go towards typically?
Well, this year, I know it was spent, I believe this year or last year, it was, the remaining of it was spent on, at recommendations of the Park and Rec Advisory Board for certain miscellaneous things, like the shelving, I thought we bought, some inventory, some purchasing, it's kind of what they call. That number's been there for 2 years, and we do spend it.
Any of these under here are part of summer rec?
No, not for the past 2 years, we used the grant solely.
So, then is that something that needs to be configured for next year since we don't have the grant?
So field trips is in there. I increased it by $200. Some of the field trips will have to be paid for by parents, which they're accustomed to. And then again, keeping the $3,000 for youth programming and the $4,000, keeping that for CPR and first aid.
400?
Yeah, 400.
Since this was, the 257 was June, do we have what the updated number is?
$624.
So then there should be plenty in there with 3,000.
And again, the first 2 years of the grant, you know, the director did an amazing job at stocking up on a lot of long-term use things for rec programming, a lot of activities, equipment, shelving, storage, arts and crafts. So I don't think that's gonna be a major issue, at least for another 2 years. And then increase the umpires to account for fall ball as well.
I think it would be feasible, when we talk about fees, to be able to expand the summer rec fees,
The fall.
you know, for next year, because when it's cheaper to send your kid to summer rec than go to daycare, I think that's an opportunity to kind of take a look at how that all works out.
Yep, and that's something that we look into when we send our exit survey, which we do have the results from that, is what people are comfortable paying for 6 weeks. Right around where we are now, $75 to $100 per week is the comfort zone for our demographic. And again, I'm not arguing with the fact that that's cheap, like the cheapest care you could possibly find in the Tri-County area. But again, you know, having limited resources for sponsorship spots, and then also just allowing people to be comfortable with sending 2, 3 kids to rec, I think is more important than, you know, generating more revenue, which the program already does really well at $75 per week for 6 weeks. that's something when you guys do the fee schedule at the organizational meeting that you can discuss. But just know that the $7,500 is a real sweet spot for most of the attendees. Any other questions on the contractual expenses?
Good.
Moving on to historian. Again, 3% for that. Good on that?
So we don't have one,
Yeah,
Correct.
so we can also look at the salary when we're gonna advertise again. So, what do we wanna do? Any other options?
Do we wanna do a straight 5 and just start it out at that based on who we have as a candidate? I mean, it's not affecting anybody at the moment, since we don't have one, so. And we do run higher on that end in the county. So if we were to do 5,
Can you make a motion to decrease to 5?
I'm putting it up for discussion at the moment.
what do other towns do, does anybody know? I mean, everybody does it different, I know.
I think Perry Holland gets $500, not faulty though.
Yeah.
Some towns don't pay at all.
Right. This position has changed throughout the years.
I guess that's the question is, well, what do you expect from it moving forward? Because I know that the past historian went above and beyond to
Right,
earn.
they were also president of the association, but that was not legal, so now that's straightened out. So, you probably cut it in half. 2,500? All right, I make a motion. 01, historian, 000, $2,500.
I second it.
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
Yes,
Councilman Monaco,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
No. Right, so with contractual expenses then, since we're cutting this in half, so we're expecting a historian to do half the work or half the projects, do you wanna go through and change some of these line items as well? To reduce the budget, for like office supplies, for example?
It's hard to tell, because we had no track record from the last year of what was spent, so. The only thing we spent money on is the infamous miscellaneous column.
Well, at least that one says educational projects next to it.
I mean, we could reduce that one to like 500, since we didn't spend much at all out of it.
Alright, put the motion up.
75104.01.004 miscellaneous educational projects, to 500.
second,
Councilwoman Herman,
Yes.
Councilman Kramer,
yes,
Councilman Monaco,
Yes.
Councilwoman Tabor,
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
Any other lines?
So So office supplies we have at, was at 200 and it was increased to 400. I don't see why we can't leave it at 200.
Put up the motion.
75104.01.028. Office supplies to $200.
Second.
Councilwoman Herman.
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
Yes,
Councilman Shaver.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
The bicentennial showed up twice,
Yes, I see that.
so we just have to cross one of those off. Cause they're both the same line items.
Any other, before we get to the bicentennial committee, any other contractual expense line item changes, amendments that we want to? Okay. Bicentennial committee, so their request was 10.5. Depending on where they land by our final budget hearing, that $5,000 will go up, because we're gonna roll over whatever they don't spend into next year. So, we'll get them as close to the 10.5 as possible, based on what the kind of late October number is.
Do we have a figure currently of what they've?
Kathy had thought we had a somewhat current bicentennial spending,
But I just purchased a few more things, so I
Yeah.
don't have those, can you see what
that was the
we
last.
spent out of the bicentennial?
well, it was 4538 as of 9:30, but now there's been several things that have been turned in, so I
Yes,
don't know
and
what that is.
Right.
Kim put those vouchers in today,
Okay.
so I can get that number for you
So
for Monday.
I make a motion, we table that till we get the final number and understand where we're at.
Second.
Second.
Second,
Councilwoman Herman.
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
yes,
Councilwoman Shaver.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes. Okay, museum contractual expenses, building repairs. Everybody good with that?
yep,
Celebrations, contractual expenses.
oh, wait a minute, yeah, okay,
American Legion street decorations, Senior Citizen Club street decoration signs. So, these are the requested, you see the requested numbers from the American Legion and Senior Citizen Clubs, and then the, street decoration signs. In my opinion, that means the signs, welcome to Marion. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking, the wooden signs.
don't we have something for signage?
That,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's,
Yeah, I think that's where it falls.
Okay. And I'm gonna make a motion that, we move .099 Senior Citizens Club to $1,200.
I'm just gonna put this out here, until we confirm their status, we're not giving $1.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
So,
let's table that until we know more.
Okay, so,
I'll make a motion, we table .099.
did you lose second of that?
Yes, I'll second it.
Councilwoman Herman.
Yes.
Councilman Kramer.
Yes.
Councilman Longo.
Yes,
Councilwoman Shaver.
Yes.
Supervisor Johnson.
Yes.
I made a note for myself, I'll get in touch with the officers there and can get clarification about what
Okay.
their organization group is. Unless somebody else is dying to do it.
Yeah, it's 20, do we wanna?
Yes, let's do this, everybody okay with the street decoration sign number? I know,
well, it's the best we have until we get an RFP in.
so,
I'm good with it.
Sounds good.
alright, so with that, we're gonna end at, the total for A 7550. That is where we ended. Because my eyeballs can't take anymore.
Sounds good to me.
So we will do a half hour of budget workshop prior to our normal scheduled board meeting, which is Tuesday, October 14th, because of Columbus Day, at 6 PM. Hope I'll see you there. Thank you. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn and move into executive.
To talk about what the issue, the personnel issue that we wanted to talk about there, or
I
something else?
thought there was another issue.
Is there-
I have one quick issue.
Okay.
What is it regarding? What is it regarding?
Employee matters and resident communications, and employee matter.
Does it matter? Okay, yeah, we can enter into executive session.
Make that motion, sir.
I will.
Second.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good night.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, good job,
Good night.
guys.